so many calls that it was the day before Thanksgiving, and he just left it like that.
Right.
And he hasn't, probably picked
Yeah.
up on it. He probably got him an offer right away. But I'm like, I'm gonna offer on this. I don't care. I'm just gonna offer on it. I did some preliminaries as far as doing the how much it would cost, because I hadn't seen it yet. But just by what he told me, and I said, well, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I kind of went through all that, and I got an idea of it. And I said, I could still make at least $25,000 on this house
Wow.
with my numbers.
Okay.
And that
So
was
you did, when you say your numbers, you did your due diligence.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I said, I'm just gonna do this because I'm ready to do this if it's the right deal.
Right. Right.
And I said, I can always, make the offer and then put up those, like, for inspection or something like that. Or I have to, in case my partner doesn't want to.
Of course.
Whatever, I could put something in
We've
there.
always got a partner.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, I could do this. And so that's what I had, I told myself I was gonna do, so it was so close. If he had answered the phone, I would have talked to him and got
Okay.
some answers, and then I would have said, well, how about me making an offer on this for you?
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't know where the money was gonna come, I just said, I'm gonna do this.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out when he didn't answer the phone.
Wow. Yeah.
But I left a message and told him that I was interested in his house and I would really like to speak with him. And then he didn't
Okay.
call me back, and then when I called him again, voicemail full.
Yeah.
Like, he's got so many offers. He's not even bothering with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 'Cause
You'd be surprised. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up. Just let him respond back,
Mhm.
and that's where the leverage comes in.
Yeah.
I think one of the negotiations is the last one speaks is the
Mhm.
one that gives in. So,
Yeah.
how you doing, sir?
Oh yeah, all right. I was.
What's your takeaways this week?
For what I've done, I was able to get a personal credit.
All right.
So the first thing, it took only 1 week for them to.
Is this a line of credit or personal?
It's a personal credit.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
And it's, as I'm saying, we went fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, less than a week, and I was approved, and they deposited the money in my account.
All right.
Wow.
From there, pay almost on my credit card.
Oh,
Mm.
great.
Yeah, because
Great.
I was.
So you did a balance transfer.
Something like that.
All
correct.
right, all right. There
You
you
can
go.
call it balance
Yeah,
transfer. Yeah.
yeah.
So unfortunately, I was asking for 15, and they
Mhm.
only give me 11, and then they took like 3% out of there. So.
That's okay. It's
But
a start.
As long as I went down with the credit cards,
Yeah.
that was great.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm ready now for the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Starting now that I have a little cash flow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
So it's going to
Great
be.
job.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't say in the beginning, this week is the deal of the decade.
Mhm.
Did you guys get to take a
Mhm,
look
yeah,
at that?
Every summer, yeah.
It's 1 through 15. I believe I did 2 today, and it was good. I mean, I just listened to it this morning, all morning. I think it was talking about probate and
Mhm.
all kinds of different ways to find offline properties and the do's and don'ts. My takeaway was I had my inspection today with Navy Federal. They didn't do the computer thing. Usually you do they'll do a computer
Mhm.
appraisal.
Right.
They didn't do it this time. The lady came out and she was real cordial, real nice. And I told her my dream number, what I would want it to come back. She said, I don't see it a problem. She said, I really don't. She says, I have to go not even about 2 miles because none of the duplexes on my street have sold.
Uh-huh.
She said, sometimes that's a good thing because nobody's selling. People are holding on to them.
Mhm.
So she said, I don't see a problem with that number, but I can't tell you legally
Mhm.
that that's what it's gonna come back.
Mhm.
So I'm waiting on that. I actually paid one of my credit cards down. Um, it's a no interest card, and I have it down to 3,000, 3,000 something, right up under
Mhm.
3,800, and I'm gonna drop some more on it
Yeah.
because my goal is to get that thing down to about 1,000.
Mhm.
Do a balance transfer on a new card with a larger amount. So when I do my septic,
Mhm.
when I draw off of it to pay for the septic,
Mhm.
it won't go to my half mark,
Uh-huh.
you know, my ratio.
Right.
So I'm gonna make the ceiling higher
Mhm.
because I know I'm gonna take a little amount out. So if I took it out now, it would go to half. So I don't want that. So I want to pay that down, then expand that up. They'll run my credit, which is fine, and then I'll take that chunk out, get the septic done off the no interest card,
Mhm.
not paying no interest for that septic to be done,
Mhm.
versus their company. If I went with a septic company's financial place, they're
Mhm.
going to charge interest.
Right.
So we don't pay interest.
Mhm.
We're learning from Renatus, we don't pay interest.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to do on that,
Mhm.
and just keep moving on my loan.
Right.
My loan is good. My pre-approval letters are good. I think they're good for 60 days,
Uh-huh.
something like that, 90 days. But that's one of the takeaways I did. So I kind of, this will go into the next one. I want to ask you is what action steps did you take this week?
As far as with
You kind of already told me,
yeah,
but
and you know, I just basically did that, and I've been looking at my credit cards and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with by, you know, because I want to do more. I want to try to make it better.
that's right.
Yeah, so I've been looking at all my statements, and I'm trying to figure
Mhm.
out, like what you just said, you know,
Yeah.
pay something
Pay it
down
down.
more and try to get that down to where it's half. So I've been
Mhm.
looking at that, trying to figure that out, but I've
Yeah.
got two of them that are like around 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I don't know how soon I can do that with them, but there's others that I could do something with, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
I've been
good.
looking at that, plus, like I said, I, called, you know, some real estate people and talked to them,
Okay.
and then I talked to the accountant. But, last week when I talked to you about a trailer and all that stuff.
Yeah, on the land, right.
Yeah, so I finally talked to the lady that is,
Code. or-
is over there
Okay.
in, Lady Lake. And so anyway, she said she hadn't had a chance to look at the property yet, but she will
Okay.
be back. She'll be back with me probably Friday.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll be able to find out more, and
More.
then I'll be able to talk to her, you know, as far as how much she thinks she can sell it for, and if she thinks I could maybe get it set up for a rental, or what I can do
All
with
right.
it. But, I mean, I looked at some trailers and stuff too, to see if I could,
Okay.
you know, put some trailers on
Yeah.
there. I put a trailer on there. Yeah, so I've done that as well.
That's great. Doing the footwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing the footwork. That's great. Yeah.
Uh,
What about you, sir?
No, I have a question for you. When you look at the trailers, you know, they are like a car. You have to put insurance on it, right?
The trailers have to have a yearly tag on them, just like a car. You're
Just
right.
like a car.
Yeah.
And what about the land? You own the land, or you
Yeah.
get the trailer?
Yeah.
You would own the land? Or-
Yeah, I own the land. It was something that I hadn't really thought about much, because my sister was supposed to be handling it, because she was like, Dad, I gotta handle everything, you know, after my mom and dad passed away. So she's supposed to have been taking care of this, and she said she was gonna sell it, but she never sold it. So then she called me a few weeks ago and said, do you think you can try to sell this property? And I said, sure. So then I put a call into a real estate agent over in Lady Lake, which is near Orlando. And so anyway, we talked about it, and then she said she'd call me, and she never did. So then I'm like calling her, and so finally I talked to her today in regards to it. Yeah, so it's not a huge piece of property, but it's a piece of property I could put a trailer on and rent it out and have a little cash flow.
Absolutely, that's a good idea. I'm surprised that real estate don't call back, because I
Well,
have one that, you know,
yeah.
when I looking for a house, he was calling me, say, hey, I got something for you. When we look at this, are you interested?
Yeah, I don't know, she seemed like she was really busy and everything, and she apologized and said that she had been busy, she had family that had come in,
Mhm.
and she wasn't expecting them, and then she had Thanksgiving and all
Oh,
this stuff,
yeah.
and so she apologized, but I'm like,
That's
okay, well,
good.
I'm glad that she finally
Yeah.
called me back, so hopefully on Friday she'll give me some information what else I can do or what I need to do.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mhm.
From the videos I was watching,
Mm-hmm.
he hit to a point where he says, okay, probate is not bad, because most of the people think that probate is something that you're trying to take advantage of
Right.
the people, but he says it's not.
Mhm.
That people, they have a challenge, and what you're doing is just offering an opportunity
Right.
to help them.
Mhm.
So he said, don't be so scared with probate.
Mhm.
I mean, you are not a bad person.
No.
You're not going to jail. You're just trying to resolve an issue that they have, a challenge that they have, and that's what you come in.
Right.
Another thing that was interesting is that he said, you don't wait for the on the papers to announce the sale. He said you have to do it. I forgot what he mentioned is when they have a petition.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
When they have the petition to become on probate,
Mhm.
then that's the moment where you get the information, and that's the moment where you start following that account. So that's
Mhm.
really good. I like
I
that.
think one time he was talking about like taxes. I don't know if it was this one. He was like, he used to send his letters out right before tax time.
Right. Yeah.
Right before when everybody's got to pay their taxes.
Right.
And you know,
Exactly.
he'd get a buzz.
Because that's the time when they
Yeah.
say, "Ooh, I got to
Oh,
pay."
I got to pay this. Let's see, if I pay this or sell it to him, or
Uh-huh.
then I don't have to bother with it. He said that's one of the things.
That's
Tips.
a very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really gets you thinking, because
Yeah.
dang, I got to pay this money again year after year. I'm not living there. The house is depreciating, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what caused my sister to call me,
Mhm.
because she's been paying the taxes on the property all this time, and I
Sure.
think she got that little thing, because I remember I got my little thing about my house,
Uh-huh.
and she probably got that.
Now, what do y'all do? Split it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be like buku bucks,
No, because
but
it's
it's
land,
gonna
right?
be something that, you know, a little something. I mean, my one
Mhm.
sister said, well, you can have my share, you know, and I'm like, no, I said, it's supposed to be split between the three of us, you know.
Oh, it's 3 of y'all. I
Yeah,
thought it was
it's-
2 of y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 3 of us, so
Okay.
my one sister said I could have her share. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
no.
Yeah.
But what she's looking for is if I got her share, then I'd come and visit her a couple of times
Oh.
and pay for the flight up there. And
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what she's looking at.
Okay. Always an angle.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so we're on number 3. What are the professional resources needed?
On this one?
Yeah, or any, yeah.
Well, yeah, on this deal of the decade.
Right.
Well, I think that getting a hold of the court system and finding a good clerk or somebody to talk to in regards to the probate,
Mhm.
way it's handled and stuff like that, that'd be good. And of course, your computer is a real good resource, because then you can, you know, get on there. And I think he was just starting into, you can get on line and do a lot of research in that department.
Right.
Than going down there, since so many places you can do that with.
Online too?
Yeah, so I mean, that would definitely be a good thing. And then, as far as anything else, I Renatus and keep
Sure.
learning about the different things that we learn here in Renatus, and of course listening to Chris.
Yeah, always listen to Chris for
Yeah.
the tax savings and
Yeah.
tax loopholes.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure.
I have a question. Will these things that we are learning here can be applied to in another country?
Oh, I don't know now.
Yeah. Because I
uh,
was wondering, if real estate is all over the world, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just heard from a family member that they said they have a house.
mhm.
It's a 3-story house. But when the realtor came over there, they only offered the price for the land.
Land.
Right.
They didn't care about they got three-fourths. I don't know how many bedrooms they have over there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he was just offering the price for the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised. I said,
Yeah.
"Why? What about the bedrooms? What about, you know,
Right.
3 bedroom, 2 bathroom,
Right.
in one floor, on the other floor they have the same thing. So
Wow.
so it's supposed to be like $1 million house.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm.
Huh. Well, yeah.
Well, I definitely can't speak on that
No.
because we don't know what their laws and rules.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Chris said, the rules change for even
Sure.
every county.
City,
sometimes.
county, and
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, so I mean, for this to be the way it is here, we have no idea what's going on over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised, because
Yeah.
I know about these trailers because you can move them and you own the land,
Right,
and you can sell the land, even you can take these people to get out of there.
right,
But a house, I just surprised, I said, yeah, I never heard of it,
yeah,
but let me ask.
yeah,
So all
exactly,
you can do is ask.
Yeah.
right,
You can even Google it. You can go on YouTube and type that in, and I think you'll get your answers. Because I know, excuse me, there were some investors. A lot of times investors, when they go overseas, they invest with someone over there that knows the landscape and knows the laws, they partner with
Mhm.
them.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what I've learned on YouTube is that Americans do business
Yeah.
overseas, but they usually have a person
mhm,
that's their guide or that is their lead guy, because they know the terrain, they know the laws, they know the contractors, they know the landscaping. But it's not that it can't be done. You're right.
mhm,
You know. So for me, my resource, professional help is, I don't know. Again, I don't know how motivated my my realtor is.
mhm,
I think I asked her to put in an offer for a house, and she really didn't want to, and so she was giving me all these excuses. So I don't know how long I'm going to use her,
yeah,
because basically anything can happen.
mhm,
I actually explained to her how I got my place. They wanted 120.
mhm,
And one guy, even Chris Alvin says, an offer is an offer.
right,
That's all it is.
mhm,
I offer you $20,000 for this chair.
mhm,
That don't mean you're gonna pay 20,000.
Right.
It's just an offer.
right,
It's just my offer.
mhm,
That's all I offer it.
mhm,
I want 20,000 for this chair.
mhm,
That don't mean I'm gonna get it.
no,
And that's what I was taught.
mhm,
So what?
mhm,
And it's like I explained to her, what if the rehab guy went in there and over rehab?
right,
I don't know that.
mhm,
Why should I pay for his mistake?
right,
You know?
sure, mhm,
Sometimes these guys go gung ho in there,
mhm,
over rehab, and now they want me and you and her to pay for some hard money that he had to pay for,
mhm,
carrying costs he had to pay for, because the house didn't turn out the way he thought.
right,
So I don't care if I have an amount. My house was listed at 120, my duplex.
mhm,
I paid 105. But it was because of the circumstances.
mhm,
The guy had got his tax bill.
Mhm.
He had bought a property in Detroit, and his son called him and said, look, the tax bill came. And the tax bill had just came here.
Mhm.
He said, oh no,
Mhm.
I'm not paying 2 tax bills.
Mhm.
He called the realtor. I have a gentleman in my living room with a pre-approval letter. I need you over here in an hour. Well, how much is it? Oh, it's 105. She was hot. I could hear him in the room. He says, listen, you work for me. You're my realtor. I'm going back to Detroit. I'm selling this house to this young man. I need you here in an hour. I'll get a new realtor.
Mhm.
She was pissed, but she was right there. And that's the thing we have to remember.
Mhm.
They work for us.
Right.
Most of them are just going to stick a sign in the yard
Mhm.
and not even think about us no more.
Right. Exactly.
See, it used to be a day they would work your house. They would get people to come through there and try to buy it. But they got so many listings, you're just a number.
Right.
You practically sell it yourself.
Mhm.
Because who sold it? If somebody rode by your house and seen the sign, guess what you got to do? You got to call them.
Mhm.
She didn't bring the person over there, or he didn't bring the person. The sign in the yard attracted them.
Mhm.
So who really did all the work?
Mhm.
So they have so many houses they're trying to sell, and if they don't get a buzz on you, they're going to go to the house that's got a buzz.
Right. True.
You know, so I don't believe in that. I don't believe if I ask to make an offer, it's a low offer.
Mhm.
But just because my offer's low, don't mean they may not take it.
Right.
This guy he could be, I gotta sell this house. My closing cost is killing me.
Right.
She don't know that.
Mhm.
I'd rather take a $50,000 loss than a $200,000 loss. She don't know that.
Mhm.
But one thing we have to remember with realtors, the more money that house sells for, the more money they make.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line.
Mhm.
Of course, that lady didn't want to sell that house for 105.
Yeah.
She didn't make that 15,000 difference.
Right.
So when she left the closing table, she got her 3%, but it was at a lower amount.
Right.
You see?
Mhm.
So we always have to keep that in the back of our minds. What's their motive?
Right. Yeah.
You know, your motive is to sell the house for more money.
Right.
My motive is to buy it at a lower cost.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right. So I think we on the last one. Names of people needed. What people are needed to bring some of our real estate situations to a close?
People with money.
There you go. People with money. Yeah.
People with
that's
money.
good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They have hard money and private money,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but either one of them is the interests are high,
Mhm.
and it's normally when you do a flip, you
Mhm.
know, buy
Mhm.
and flip the house.
Yeah.
That's why you the money. But if you want to hold that property, have to come out of your pocket.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And we need to learn that 2020 is upon us. We're at the Tuesday night real estate Renatus meeting, but 2020 is upon us. Today is December 3rd, 1999. And there's a lot of new laws coming out, FHA, Fannie Mae, and we should be learn about these things because they're giving more money for those types of loans.
Mhm.
And so, you know, there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming down the pipe pretty soon.
Mhm.
And as investors, we need to stay abreast of that,
Right.
you know, and know what's the difference. And that's what I've been trying to learn and using Chris Albin talking about all these different ways,
Mhm.
like probate and stuff. How's that going to affect? I've been watching the 203K loans. But what type of people do we need, you think?
Well, like I said earlier, they're probably, the clerk down at the courthouse.
Okay.
Let's see. A good, maybe a good financial advisor.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe it would be good to invest in somebody to like, he had some school kids, do the work for him.
Right. The
Yeah.
two young ladies.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had them, so maybe that might be something, if you don't have the time,
Right.
and that would be something that could be done, that you
Mhm.
could do that. And then as far as, anything else is concerned, continue with the education, and then, definitely, I guess it would be to basically work on your time or your plan so that you can have time to do
Mhm.
what you need to do. Cause
Alright.
this isn't just, cause you're gonna take more time, because you gotta go down there, or you get online and you have to go through the stuff, and then you have to write letters and stuff like that, so it's gonna definitely take a little bit more
Little time consuming.
Yeah,
Sure.
even though I feel like, I spend an awful lot of time on Zillow, but I'm not gonna get anything there probably. I
Mhm.
mean,
Well, you know, people have different things about Zillow. Some people don't think it's accurate, but
yeah,
I've watched videos and you can pull a lot of information. I mean, I know people that use Zillow and Redfin and Home Advisor, a lot of those
yeah,
sites to get their comps. Now,
right,
those aren't accurate comps, but they use them
right,
to get a rough
mhm,
estimate.
yeah,
And you can learn about square footage.
mhm,
You can learn about location.
right,
So they give a lot of information.
right,
You know.
mhm, yeah,
So
And
don't.
the pricing of the windows.
Sure.
Yeah.
You want to replace it, you have any idea, so,
Right.
yeah.
yeah,
How long those houses are taking to sell in the area.
yeah, exactly.
That's what the lady. Sometimes that's one of the things we want to know.
Mhm,
Okay, I want to buy this house, like you said. I want to put an offer, but how long are these houses taking in that zip code to sell?
right,
That may be something where the price versus how long it's going to take. Now, if they're jumping like pancakes, that's a hot area.
yeah,
That may be a house that I do want to buy because it's not going to take long to sell it.
right, exactly,
That was one of the conversations I was having with my realtors. Like, there's too many houses around here
mhm,
that aren't selling.
mhm,
That's why I'm making my offer.
mhm,
You see what I'm saying? My offer is because I'm looking at why are all these houses with all these signs in their yards?
mhm,
They're not popping.
mhm,
And one of the number one rules that I've been taught, if a house don't sell, is probably listed too high.
Too
Yeah.
high. Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
mhm,
So I have every right to think that house has been on the market. It's going to be on the market because these three houses over here have been on the market,
mhm,
and they have the same square footage, and they're the same square footage, and they're almost the same.
right,
So what makes you think this house?
mhm,
And he was talking about one of the things, we always talk about location, but he actually had three other things that were just as important.
right,
Just as important as
Exactly.
location.
mhm,
Location is very important, but he was like price,
mhm,
condition,
market,
and market value.
mhm.
So, yeah. So, what people do you need? Names of people you need, sir?
Yeah. I will go with two people that are more important. That would be an accountant that has experience with real estate,
Okay.
and a lawyer.
All right.
A lawyer to review the contract that you want to
Mhm.
present. You want to present your offers. Has to be something that is not going to come back to you and bite you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
A lawyer, a real estate lawyer that's done real estate deals. I was talking, well, still in talks with a guy, but I don't know how motivated he is about selling this house, but he wanted his attorney, which is good. You know, that's fine.
Right,
Some attorneys have done real estate
right.
law, and there's nothing wrong with closing
Mhm.
with an attorney, so that's good.
Yeah, most of the people they get an attorney so they're protected.
Mhm.
Of course.
Not only the buyer, even the seller.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
want to, come back to me.
Mhm.
And the thing is, most of the houses that I'm looking at right now, they say sell as is.
Yeah, as is.
As is.
Uh-huh.
That's a protection they have. Whatever
Yeah.
happens, you pay the price is as is.
Right.
Whatever pops there, not my problem. That's your problem now.
Mhm.
you
That's
you
right.
bought it.
Well, those are basically cash offer prices, right?
No.
Yeah, you're not gonna get financing, right? So, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's why you pay a lower price for that
Mm-hmm.
because you got the cash.
Right.
Yeah, as is, and for sale by owner, I've had experience, you think for sale by owner you're gonna get it cheaper, but not always. They don't wanna deal with those realtors.
Yeah.
They kinda know the price. They're not always right,
Right.
A lot of times on one of my scripts when I call is, it's like, hey ma'am, how did you come to that price?
Right.
Well, Zillow said, and this said, and the neighbor down the street got, but they're not keeping in mind that neighbor upgraded
Mhm.
their kitchen and bathroom.
Right.
The neighbor put a roof.
Mhm.
You didn't put a roof.
Mhm.
You didn't upgrade your.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I can't. We're not talking apples and apples. We're talking apples and oranges.
Mhm.
And then the other mindset is, well, you could get. Well, I can't work off what it could be.
Right.
I can't give you what it could be. I have to give you what the condition is
Mhm.
now.
Exactly.
And it's one of the gentlemen talks about not getting in their mess,
Right.
staying out of their mess, and be honest with what you're looking at.
Right.
You can't buy a house off potential.
Right.
You have to buy it off what is it going to take to get it to the ARV, to have the repair value
Right.
that it's going to be.
Mhm.
Because a lot of these people are like, well, all you got to do is do this, and that won't cost nothing, and do that, and you got a great house.
Mhm.
But like Chris Albom said, what about the location?
Mhm.
What about the market value in that area?
Right.
Are those three? I can give up one.
Mhm.
I just can't give up three.
Right.
See, we may lose on one,
Mhm.
but I can't lose on the other three.
Right.
And that's what they don't understand.
Mhm.
They want what somebody's put their hard-earned money for their house.
Right.
And a lot of times they come, when so many people come through there, they'll get to the reality that my house isn't worth what I think, because there's an emotional attachment
Mhm.
there.
And that's the problem sometimes.
Yeah.
Because my kids, they grew up here. I treasure that, so I want to sell the house for more price.
Yeah.
Right. And they have memories. And that's why we learn in Renata's classes, you build rapport.
Mhm.
You can't go in there and say, oh, this is a piece of crap. I'll give you $10 for it. You can't do that. You know.
That's a good tactic, really.
Yeah,
I
you know.
never thought about
Works
that.
every time.
But you know, you got the person. Well, make me an offer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you 10,000. Oh, get out of here! I'm not giving my house away.
Yeah.
You're a crook. You know. But hey, one of the guys said, look, if you don't get an offer that makes them upset, then hey, you ain't did your job.
Right.
You don't know what that meant. That man could have hit the lottery and just want to sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you want to pay 10,000, but he was going to sell it for $10. You know, but you know, it's just like, you know, so you don't insult people,
Yeah.
or you don't, you know, you gotta, like you said, you gotta be mindful. There's dreams. There was the kids grew up in here, and you know, and Jimmy stubbed his toe on that corner right there. So, but a lot of people, we have to give them credit. They are realistic.
Yeah.
They are realistic. They're like, you know, I know it needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
know.
which one on the tape they were saying, don't call the house, don't call it home.
Mhm.
Say, don't mention that word home.
Home, yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it soothes them down. And there's a guy, he's like you said, the words, play on the words. The words have, like, here's one. They say, don't say contract, say agreement. Remember that one? In
Yeah.
Renatus? He says, don't never say contract. Contract sounds, it's a scare word.
Yeah.
Well, ma'am, would you like to sign this agreement?
Right.
See, that sounds more, we're in
So-
partnership.
Right.
Contract means, oh, I gotta get this to my lawyer. You're putting some in there that you know,
Right.
no, this is we agree on $150,000. We agree
Right.
that, you know, we agree on this price, and I have to have this agreement to take back to get it processed,
Right.
you know,
Subject to.
subject to who? Back to that word, my partner,
Yeah.
and inspection, and those are our outs.
Yeah.
Yes, our agreement is subject to my partner. You could be my partner, he could be my partner, the computer's my partner.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The computer said it just didn't like the color of the roof, and then my computer spit out it's going to take too long to sell it, so we, you know, but he does talk about don't use any excuse, you know, be legitimate about it, you know, be you know, somewhat honest. It didn't meet my numbers.
Right.
I couldn't get financing.
Right.
Whatever. Just
Just be truthful.
be truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna go about around the room. Anything you want to say before we end?
No, I think I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. You, sir, anything you want to share till we come back? I think we got 2 more before we come back, and we're going to be off for Christmas, the day before Christmas.
How
You
about-
got anything, sir?
No.
What were you going to say?
I was just gonna ask you,
Sure.
Christmas will be off, and then New Year's is right after that. I wonder if we're gonna be off that day too. They're both Tuesdays.
I have the schedule.
I do.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have now, next meeting will be on the 10th,
Okay.
chapter 16 to 31.
16 through 31.
Then we have, on the 17th, we have negotiations. I love that class.
Which one is it?
Negotiations.
Negotiations. Okay, I never did that yet. Yeah, I never did that one yet. That's going to be great.
Then on the 24th and on the 31st, there's nothing. 2
Right.
weeks. And then we come back on the 7th.
Of January.
January 7th. and we finished with negotiations, and then we had self-direct.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for this Tuesday night meeting on December 3rd. And thank you guys for coming. And let's just go out this week and do what we got to do to get our real estate
Absolutely.
investing done. Thank you guys.
Thank you.